somewhere right over here should be fine.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so this is gonna be a quick explanation of that step to like back foot pivot that I was talking about in the chat. You can do it really with anything because it's more focused on the feet. I apologize, I don't necessarily have a better angle, but the feet are the ones doing the work, but it's shifting your posture a little bit.
Could you lower the leg on that one? Like a little bit?
Yeah, probably could. Yeah. Well, we'll figure that out in a second. So yeah, the first explanation is just going to be one of the easier ways to do it. One of the easiest like demonstrations of this is that you can either hit, you can stutter a shot, you can feint, whatever, but like essentially you're stepping for real the first time and you're throwing your attack, whatever, right? And then you can do this one of two ways that I've been exploring. You can either just pivot on the back foot a little bit, right? And as you'll notice, the shoulders are shifting in space slightly. The sword shoulder ends up coming slightly more to the opponent's offside and back a little bit, and kind of creates this idea of space and of different angulation. And oftentimes what will happen is, especially in a fight, if you're doing this, people will either throw and they'll create a space for you, or as your hand slides over, they may follow you, right? So you can then either, if they kind of stay put, reach towards the back just off of a quick step if they don't allow you to, because you haven't actually given up any real space. You're still as close as you were before. Or if their hand does follow you right after that, because all you're doing is looking to pivot that back foot and allow the shift in your posture to create a space with your opponent following your body with their hand, right? You haven't actually given up any space, you haven't given any sort of like distance. Another way that you can do this is if you want to actually step off of the front but kind of still pivot with the back, or vice versa. So with that same kind of setup but with a step pivot in the front, right, we have our one here, and instead of just rotating the back foot, I'm gonna actually, pick up the front foot and move it. I get a little bit more movement in the shoulder, of course, a little bit more space, and it's a little bit more, if they're not buying the subtle stuff, you can do that step here. Back foot hasn't stepped away, I haven't given any space, I have not actually stepped over this way to take myself further away from this target. I'm still able to access it, if he follows me, by simply rotating my shoulders back or standing up or centering my posture here, right? So head-on-ish, I can't really tell exactly, but as you step here, and then you either, of course, simply keep your back foot in the same kind of position, just rotating it to follow comfortably wherever you're stepping to, right? Of course, your shoulders shift in space. The other thing being, you throw that shot, you can pivot that back foot, right? And the alignment of the hips and everything, the shoulders are going to drop slightly. It creates a little bit of that visual pressure to this side, and as their hand follows you, if it does, you have that ability to stand back up, recenter your stance, and attack there. Additionally, if you want to look like you're closing more than you actually are, if you give this idea of like you're using the gathering step, right? We know the shuffle leads with whatever foot, like if you're stepping forward, your front foot moves and the other one just kind of follows up. But a gathering step kind of works the opposite way. Back foot moves first and you step. You can utilize that kind of an idea here in a pivot where rather than getting a whole lot closer right off the bat, you can shift your feet maybe closer together for in a position that's going to right. Doing this stuff probably is difficult. You're going to shift your foot in a way where it maybe hides your approach a little bit, but your shoulders still do shift in space just a touch. And then from there, you can just finish off by actually taking the rest of that step. Obviously, there's always ways that we can just go forward, back, side, diagonal, whatever. But utilizing these kind of movements where rather than here and then a full step here where he has the ability to step with me and follow me because of that beat that's created by the extra movement. If it's here and it's only a single foot that's moving, you can maintain priority. You can keep actions going a little faster potentially, just because you're not worrying about here, step, now throw here, and by that time, potentially your opponent has realigned to you, right? And this isn't a 100% foolproof kind of thing. I'm still working on a lot of it. This is kind of the idea that I'm working with and how it's developing. The most common one right now is some type of like approach here, whether that's board or flow, whatever, attacking, and then the lead foot steps offside while the back foot maintains here, right? Or that same kind of thing where it rotates, maybe my shoulders shift this way, right, to draw an attack, and then as they do, you can actually step, and you have a lot of options here. It's just kind of a bigger visual fake using small movements for you, but like it shifts the body and creates this illusion of bigger change. So yeah, take that, play with it, let me know what you come up with, and yeah, that's it.